Hi there, and welcome to this video on GCSE Biology for the AQA Specification, focusing on the development and understanding of genetics and evolution, and in particular focusing on resistant bacteria. I'm Shumina from StudyMind, where we help you revise GCSE Biology with our helpful video tutorials, tailored to your subject, your specification, and to you. If you're new here, make sure you click the subscribe button. Whilst you are watching, please leave any comments below if you're unsure about anything, and let us know if it's your first time watching our videos so we can send you our free revision materials. We also have helpful timestamps below for each part of the video to help guide you through the specification. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to this tutorial on resistant bacteria. So in today's tutorial we'll have a look at bacterial reproduction, how this can lead to the spread of bacterial resistance, and then we'll look at a case study in terms of MRSA. So these are your specification points, so quite a few here, just go through them at the end and use this as a checklist almost that you can check yourself against to make sure that you've covered everything you need to know for the exam. So bacteria have an incredible ability to reproduce at a truly quick rate. This has allowed them to evolve rapidly with whatever abilities were required. So mutations occur rapidly and randomly. So sometimes when they occur, they provide bacteria with a selective advantage. So for example, you can see here that this bacteria, as it's reproducing, some of its offspring have a trait where they are resistant to antibiotics, so this is going to be a selective advantage. So bacteria that are resistant to antibiotics will survive for longer than bacteria that is not resistant. They will therefore reproduce more and then survive for longer, increasing the population of the resistant strain. Now, as the bacteria is resistant, it will survive for longer due to the lack of immunity and treatment and reproduce more and more. This means that this kind of bacteria will spread quickly. So now let's have a look at MRSA. So MRSA stands for methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, and it's an example of an antibiotic-resistant strain of bacteria. So methicillin was a type of antibiotic, or it still is a type of antibiotic, and the Staphylococcus aureus bacteria developed resistance to the antibiotic methicillin. Now, there are many methods for reducing the rate of development of antibiotic-resistant strains of bacteria. These include the correct prescription of antibiotics, and the course of antibiotics must be completed. And also, we must reduce the use of agricultural antibiotics too, because this can contribute to the development of resistant strains. Now, why is it important that we slow the rate of the development of antibiotic-resistant strains of bacteria? Well, antibiotics are our key method of killing bacteria. So we want to slow the rate at which they're evading this. So regarding prescriptions, antibiotics must only be prescribed when necessary in order to reduce the rate of resistant strains. This means that they are not required in those with viral infections because that's involving viruses which live inside cells and therefore are going to be unaffected by antibiotics, or non-serious infections. So we must only prescribe them for really serious bacterial infections because antibiotics are only killing bacteria. When prescribed when not necessary, there is an increased risk of mutation of bacteria, causing them to become resistant. Also, in order to reduce the emergence of resistant bacteria, we must inform patients to complete their course of antibiotics, because if they don't take the full prescription of antibiotics, there is an increased risk that they do not eliminate all the bacteria in their body, which can lead to more and more bacteria being present that can mutate and become resistant. Regarding agricultural antibiotics, so antibiotics are widely used in agriculture. So vancomycin, for example, is a type of antibiotic, and it's used often to promote growth in cattle, pigs, and chicken. And this use also can lead to an increase in antibiotic resistance as there is an increased chance of mutation occurring the more we treat with antibiotics. So overall, we want to decrease the amount that we're using our antibiotics and only use them for the most serious of cases, bacterial infections, not viral infections. So with all of this in mind, you may wonder, why not we just begin to develop new antibiotics? Well, the reality is that this is very difficult and expensive, so pharmaceutical companies stand to gain very little money from providing this service, as new antibiotics will not be used and will only be kept in storage until all of the current antibiotics are out of use. Also, this research takes a lot of time and is superseded by the newer strains. So now that we've covered the concept of antibiotic resistance in bacteria, let's have a look at some practice questions. So I'll go through the statements. You can then pause the video, have a go at labelling which are true and false, and then we'll go through the answers. So A, antibiotic resistance can be affected by failing to take a full course of drugs. B, new antibiotics are being researched thoroughly at a low cost. C, antibiotics are effective against viral illnesses. And D, antibiotics are not regularly used in the farming industry. So pause the video here and have a go at the questions, and then we'll go through some answers in a few moments. Okay, let's go through some answers. So statement A is indeed true, because we've already discovered that by encouraging patients to take their full course of drugs, we can actually decrease the rate of antibiotic resistance, and that's what doctors are trying to do. B is false, it's a high cost. C is false, antibiotics are effective against only bacterial illnesses, so that's why we shouldn't prescribe antibiotics for viral illnesses, because this is unnecessary and can lead to the emergence of new strains of bacteria that are antibiotic resistant. And D is also false, because antibiotics are regularly used in the farming industry, and we can decrease the use of agricultural antibiotics in order to decrease antibiotic resistance. The chance of antibiotic resistance developing in a strain of bacteria. Okay, so that's all our specification points covered for today. Well done, and I'll see you for the next tutorial. Thanks for watching this free video from StudyMind. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to catch our newest videos by clicking below, and leave a comment on a topic you'd like a video on. Click here to watch more videos in our series for GCSE Biology, or visit our website studymind.co.uk for free past paper compilations by topic and specification.